ask a question that's a little bit connected, but not totally. You were criticized earlier this session for coming out as a rural legislator against the school voucher plan, and I know that that's a very high priority item for the governor. Kind of explain to the people your vision on these school vouchers. Now, before you do, I'm going to tell you got through talking to the CFO of San Angelo ISD, and he gave us a little bit of a rundown on the financial impact on the San Angelo ISD of a voucher program. But I just wanted to hear. I think the people want to hear what your ideas were on the school voucher.
Well, thank you for asking that question. It has certainly been at the forefront of our legislative concerns. I've been a strong proponent of public education since I first ran back in 2006. I'm a product of public schools. My kids have gone to public schools. My grandkids are going to public schools. I support them and support what they do. And I want to increase the resources available for them. So a lot of chatter has been developed by some of our statewide leaders that say we need more school choice. Well, we have school choice. We have school choice in Tom Green County. If a parent wants to send their kid to public schools, they can. They can go to SAISD, Wall, Christoval, Gray Creek. They can go to any public school. They can also go to a public charter school. TLC is one of those. We have one of the very, very much needed and very worthwhile public charter school we have in Tom Green County. We also have good private schools. Cornerstone Christian is a wonderful school. Ambleside, Trinity Lutheran, Angelo Catholic. All of those are choices that parents can make on behalf of their children. Now, the reason why they have those choices is they may feel that environment for the education of their kids is better suited at one of those institutions I said. And also, I forgot to mention, they have the ability to homeschool their children. So that is choice. And so don't be diverted and confused about the the messaging going on right now that we need more parental choice. We have parental choice. What this debate is about is taking public funds and diverting them to private or parochial schools without accountability, without testing achievement, and putting that in the hands of folks that do not have or practice open enrollment policies. Private schools have the ability to decide which students come to their school or not. They can either choose to admit them or they can refuse to admit them. They are not held accountable for that decision. Public schools have to take all of the children. If they want to come, special needs kids, kids with learning disabilities. If they want to go to a public schools have to admit them. If those same students want to go to a private or parochial schools, they don't have the same open enrollment policy. They don't have the same non-discriminatory policy. Now, they will take our money, but I've had a lot of these schools tell me they don't want the strings attached to it. And that's what we're talking about.
Well, Representative Darby, I think you said a very important thing there. I want to stress it, that it's just like in elementary schools, and you see it here even in Tom Green County, the quality of the school and the student body is determined by the parents, how active the parents are, for example. So if you take all the active parents and have them put all their kids into one private school, then we're no longer we're depriving a lot of schools and a lot of locations in our community of, I would say, an active PTA kind of thing. And at the same time, like you said, I mean, if you're gonna make the public school, the San Angelo ISD, take on all the special needs children and things like that, then all of a sudden there's going to be a quality disparity between the two, and we no longer have a universal education, and that's what I kind of see with that.
That is a treasure that this state has enjoyed since its founding. One of the reasons listed in the Texas Declaration of Independence is the failure of the Mexican government to provide for a free education for their children, for the children of Texans. And so I consider that to be my primary obligation in serving as the state representative, is representing uh, uh, everybody, of course, in my district, but certainly public education and our efforts to educate all of the students. Uh, Children from more affluent families, children from, as you said so aptly, children from families who care and are involved with their students' education, who care to go to their PTA meetings and go to their soccer games and support them at their plays. I mean, those students are going to survive and do well because they have parental involvement, and the parents care about getting them there, and care about making sure they attend those classes. That's not always the case, and so public schools remains a repository for everybody, and we need to make sure they have the resources that they need in order to deal with all of those students. I think that is the very lifeblood of our communities, especially in rural Texas. There's
Yeah,
not a whole, there's
could
not
you
a whole
imagine
lot
not
of.
having wall hawks? The wall
I
hawks
can't
got
imagine
drained.
that. I cannot imagine not having the ability of our schools to be at the forefront of our identity of our cities. If you take away Wall School District, you take away the very fabric of Wall itself. Same way with Robert Lee or Braun or Winters or Ballinger. Uh, these schools are the very identity of our communities, and if those schools go away, then our communities go away, and that's the challenge. Don't be confused about the rhetoric of choice. This is not about choice. Texans and Texas parents have choice. This is about public dollars flowing to private or parochial pockets, and that's what this is about. Uh, People, uh, the money is nice, but I will tell you that when I've done research on private or parochial schools throughout the state of Texas, the amount that's being bandied around as a quote voucher only covers a portion of that cost. And if it does cover part of the tuition, it does not cover any transportation that it would take to get that student to that classroom. So I don't know why the governor is so invested in this. It hurts rural Texas. I took an oath to represent my district, and I will stand up no matter how long it takes to protecting my public schools and public education here in Texas. So I would anticipate that if I'm to follow the governor's latest signals, we'll probably spend some quality time together later this summer or the fall talking about it. But no amount of talk is going to change my position on that.
Probably a special session on the way.